Curling herself into a tight fist against the cold, Martha huddled in the doorway and wondered if tonight she might see the snow. Beautiful. Lifting her eyes without lifting up her head, she stared at the wide black sky that would once more be her companion. A tall man in a long overcoat, with a freshly trimmed beard, chin tucked into his chest, looked down at her as he walked by. For a moment she was worried he might spit, but he did not. "Can you get up?" The woman stretched out her hand, and Martha stared hard at it. Eliza May was gone. This hand could no more lead her back to her daughter than it could lead Martha back to her own youthful self, a small cabin. This woman was offering her some place with a roof, and maybe even a little heating. Martha closed her eyes. After countless years of journeying, the hand was both an insult and salvation, but the woman was not to know this. "Please take my hand. I am not here to harm you. I just want to help, truly."
Hey, this old lady's slowing us down.
Yeah. What do you think we should do?
I think we're gonna have to drop her here. I don't think we have any choice. We'll never get to California.
Farmers have come from all over the county, a fun-seeking crowd, ready for haggling, but amongst them I see the lean-faced men, the traders with their trigger-happy minds, their mouths tight and bitter. I try not to look anybody in the eye.
Put her to it, and she'll raise you a fine litter of pickaninnies. That's enough. But, as the horse said, turning from bottle to bed, enough of pleasure to work.
Eliza May moves restlessly, so I take her hand. She cries. I pinch her to be quiet. I am sorry, but it is for her own good. The auctioneer beckons forwards the traders. They look firstly at the men. A trader prods Lucas's biceps with a stick. If a trader buys a man, it is down the river, to die. That much we all know. The family is in need of domestics, or the farmers in need of breeding wenches. They look across at us and wait their turn. I am too old for breeding. They do not know this, but I will disappoint. My Eliza May holds on to me, but it will be no avail. She will be a prime purchase, and on her own she stands a better chance of a fine family. I want to tell her this, to encourage her to let go, but I have not the heart. I look on. The auctioneer cries to the heavens. A band strikes up. A troop of minstrels begins to dance. Soon the bidding will begin. "Mama," Eliza May whispers, word over word again, as though this were the only word she possessed. This one word, this word only. The auctioneer is dressed formally, dark vest, colorful cutaway coat. He continues to yell. Now, as he does so, he motions towards us with his gavel. Then he slaps his instrument against the wooden block with a thud.
It's time to proceed, gentlemen. Time to stop the looking. Start the bidding. Who will offer me 100 pounds for this fine wench? Do I hear 100 pounds? Do I hear 100 pounds? We'll start at 50. Ooh, I have 50 over here. 50, 50, 50, 55, I'll go 55. I've got 50, 50, 55, it'll give me 60, you'll give me 70, 75, 50. I got a 77 woman, it'll give me an 80, 80, 80 over here. 100, 115, 115 once. Twice. Sold, Sir Robert Calvert of Virginia. 115 pounds. Very shrewd purchase.
Good lines to that one.
Look at his eyes. He's not even close to being broken.
Now, here's a likely-looking hand, a prime young buck, just picked from the trees. Bright as a monkey. Good bones, sinew. Wanted free and defect. Good teeth, good for Carolina rice. Virginia tobacco, Maryland corn. Pull like an ox and carry like a mule. Step up, see for yourself, gentlemen. He's free of thieves, piles, fresh box. He's young, biddable, fine animal, gentlemen. I'm going to start the bidding at 150. There's no need to waste time. He's the pick of the herd, gentlemen. You won't find his like in these degenerate days. Who'll give me 150? I hear the 150. All right. 125. Gentlemen, I sold a buck, half of this, for 200 guineas a fortnight ago in Baltimore. 125, 125, I'll go 130. Hey, I'll go 125, I want to go 30. 130. 130, you'll give me 135, 135, 130, 130, 135. 145, sold.
Within the year, the Hoffmans had decided to sell up and leave Virginia. They had decided to settle outside of the city of Kansas in a part of the country that was young and promising for pioneers. One morning, Mr. Hoffman called the graying Martha to him. She knew this would eventually happen, for the crops were not selling, and once again the cattle had come back from the market, a merciful market where nothing would sell. Martha had overheard them arguing with each other at the dinner table. Mr. Hoffman looked at Martha and then down at his hands, which were folded in front of him.
Martha!
Yes, sir?
We have to go west, Martha, to where there is work for us. Kansas is still too young. We're going to California, but we shall have to sail you back across the river in order that we can make this journey. We shall do all that we can do to ensure that you're rewarded with good Christian honors.
When?
Next week, Martha. I'm sorry. You can leave, Martha.
Lord, do remember me. Oh, do Lord, remember me. Oh, do Lord, do remember me. Oh, do Lord, do remember me. Oh, do Lord, do remember me. Oh, do Lord, remember me.
She no longer possessed either a husband or a daughter, but the memory of their loss was clear. She remembered the disdainful posture of the master's nephew and the booming voice of the auctioneer. She remembered the southern ladies in their white cotton sunbonnets and the long-sleeved dresses, and the poorer farmers who helped to find a bargain, their bony mules hitched to their lame carriages. But the trader who had prodded Lucas with a stick bought him for a priceless sum. But Martha held on to some hope, for Lucas was a man who never failed to make friends with dogs. That night, Martha packed her bundle and left the house, for where she was not sure, don't care where, being concerned only with going west, away from the river, away from hell, and avoiding the traders who would gladly sell her back over the border into Missouri. That night she spread before her, but before the drifting clouds she knew the sky was heavy with stars, feeling good. And then Martha heard the barking of dogs, and she tumbled into a ditch. Lord, give me Lucas's voice. She waited and heard nothing, only silence. Thank you. Eventually Martha climbed to her feet and began to run. Like the wind girl. Never again would she stand on the auction block. Never. Never again would she be renamed. Never. Never again would she belong to anybody. No, sir, never. Martha looked over her shoulder as she ran. Like the wind girl. Breathless Martha stopped to rest beneath a huge willow tree. Don't nobody own me now. She looked up, and through the thicket of branches she saw the morning star throbbing in the sky, as though recklessly attempting to preserve its life into the heart of a new day. They tried to cheat Chester while playing poker in the saloon bar, but Chester, in his gentle manner, sneaked a piece of chewing tobacco into his mouth and pointed up their ways. For 10 long years, this man has made me happy. For 10 long years, this man has made me forget, and that is a gift from above. I never thought anybody could give me so much love, even without trying, without appearing to make any effort, without raising no dust about it. Just steering and roping and whatever manner of business he felt like seeing in the days, watching the sun set at dusk, and a little whiskey and cards at night, always there when I needed him. My own state became perilous, racked as I was with exhaustion, but I still managed to keep my misery to myself, until yesterday, when it became clear that I was unable to prepare any more meals. I had long since been relieved of laundry duties, owing the water rationing, and I had occasionally begged to ride on the wagon while all the others walked. But then, this final humiliation. Yesterday morning, under the dazzling, intense blue of the Colorado sky, the foothills of the Rockies in the distance, this frustrated man sat before me with a stern face and shared with me his water ration. Suddenly, and without warning, his face softened as he spoke. "Today and tomorrow you will rest, Martha. Ride in Jacob's wagons on the flour sacks. Tomorrow evening we shall speak again." He took my hand with what I imagined to be real affection. "Well, this is the beginning. I know what will follow. You must find some shelter, for you will never survive the journey to California." Martha Randolph won't be taking any washing today. No tubs, no ironing, no cooking either. Martha will simply sleep through the day. This woman, her cold body wrapped in a black coat, left in the Denver streets which were now clad with thick snow. She opened the door and looked in upon the colored woman, who stared back at her with wide eyes. The unsuccessful fire in the pot-bellied stove was dead. The woman gently closed the door. Martha won't be taking any washing today. And then the woman wondered who or what this woman was. They would have to choose a name for her if she was going to receive a Christian burial.